Hello, everybody. Mr. Coffee, joined by Casper once again. Howdy, Casper.
I'm all over the map today, boy. I think I have PTSD from Wednesday.
Are you now like staring at the sound?
Yeah, and I'm making mistakes. I just muted myself twice, and I almost muted you too. I really have PTSD. I'm like freaking out, like pressing buttons and shit.
Just slamming your face on the keyboard, just like ah!
It's like I just want to get this right.
I feel a little bad about that. I do apologize that I'm not like taking some of the work on it. I wish I could.
This is self-inflicted, right? That's kind of what it is. It's like so I guess we should start from the beginning. If you listen to this, you probably see that the episode name is that was the complete shitfest. And I chose that episode name because it's both for what we personally think about the league mechanic and something like that occurred to us on Wednesday. Now, we've been trying to do 2 episodes a week. Just to give you guys more content, and because there's a lot of shit that's happening, especially within the first month of any league launch, and we want to make sure we stay on top of most of the shit. And we had a fucking beautiful conversation. It was probably would have been the best episode we've had to this day.
It was fun. We did have a great conversation.
And an hour into the motherfucker, I look over and I start thinking to myself, I don't see no wavelength for his mic. Why not? And I don't say nothing. I say, hold on, let me check something. I don't say nothing. You keep talking. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, that's when it clicked to me that, oh my God, his mic has not been picked up the entire hour. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, maybe it just happened just now. Maybe I did something. Maybe I clicked something by mistake. Nah, we stopped the stream. I went back, and it's just me cackling, me just like freaking out and all this stuff. Now, for any of you listening, you're like, but I actually heard that live, because we stream this live on YouTube, so you can go check out this shit fest sometimes on live. And the reason we do that is just pure like experimental. But
like, yeah, maybe someone clicks, maybe someone doesn't.
Yeah, it's just experimental on our part. It's not something that we strategically try to do something. And it was bad, man. I had to take down the episode and everything. I was like, oh, this is so goddamn embarrassing. Oh, this is terrible. The fucking shit fest. And it's like catching lightning in a bottle. You're not catching that again.
No, but it's not to say that we won't ever have good conversations again.
No. I'm not saying that either.
Like,
but that episode's gone. Like, that's it. It's 6 feet deep.
It exists only in the ether.
Right. We are going to touch on some of the things that we did talk about that day, though, because some of it is relevant. Yeah. So we'll touch on that today. Obviously, there's a few other things that we need to touch on. But yeah, I just wanted to. I like being honest. It just takes the weight off. Like sometimes when I mess up and do things like this, it's like, let me just be out. Let me just come out with it. Just say what I did. Just whatever.
Yeah, there's no reason not to. It's not. I don't think there's any shame in it, dude. Fucking technical difficulties happen. Is advanced of a species as we are in a lot of ways. Yeah. Not only that, but all of our wondrous things only work some of the time. Even our best shit only works some of the time, even most of the time. But unfortunately, shit happens, glitches happen. Anything can happen. It's always possible. So I'm not upset. Like, if anything, like who wrote your or built your sound card? Like, blame them. You're like,
no, that's just OBS.
Okay, so then blame OBS.
Can't blame OBS though. It's hard to blame.
Why can you blame?
OBS has single-handedly changed the streaming world. Like this open source free program that you can basically like do so much shit with it.
But
then it's
the
so terrible
Nazis-
sometimes.
The Nazis also, like came up with jets and shit, which are,
Wow, you really
pretty
talking
fucking
about the
awesome.
Nazis? Wow.
It's a joke. It's for a hot take to stir up
Wow.
trouble.
You compared OBS to Nazis.
Only the fact of it wasn't OBS I'm comparing to. It was more of the what do you call it? Sometimes good things can come from bad shit, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I got you. You still play Nazis into the mix. That's just.
I don't know of another accidental oopsie on that large a scale. Because think about it, right? Like, if we are being completely candid, Jets is a big thing, and OBS is
rocket
also
propulsion.
A big thing.
Rocket proportion.
Propulsion.
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 How do we manage to go off on a tangent so goddamn quick?
Because it like meta questions and meta discussion, I guess. Like when you talk about certain aspects of like comparing things of that nature, like what can you think of that was an accident that's that big? Shoe leather? Or not even shoe leather, shoe soles. The dude accidentally drooped some of the shit that he was making onto a hot griddle, accidentally made shoe soles. He was just like, holy, yeah, dude, straight up accident. Like, but became like the basis of shoes. It's a trip. All kinds of shit happens through the weirdest or most unfortunate things. I'm pretty sure
this podcast turned into Did You Know? Where did you know they come from?
But that dude probably like dropped that shit and thought he was gonna lose his job. If it was someone that worked for somebody. Granted, it might have been just a dude that owned it. I can't remember the story. I was like 7 when I learned it. Like, but all kinds of shit like that happens. But going back to it, man. So have you done anything new to your build?
No.
Not at all. Like,
well, I mean, I've bought shit. I've upgraded.
That's my question. I was actually curious because
No.
Go ahead.
So, since we last did an episode, yes. Since we last talked, which was like an hour or two ago, no. So my build is pretty much at a comfortable spot as far as survival and DPS. It's lacking a little bit DPS. I probably need another, 10 to 15, maybe 20 divines to really get something like a really powerful axe that will just break everything. Just rip through everything.
You survived Cortex.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, so far, I've downed Cortex on my own.
I helped the first phase. And it
was Maven, by the way. It was Maven, by the way. Which I have a problem. I don't notice when I do that. Sometimes, you know what it is? I don't expect that Maven is going to get activated in some of these maps. So I kind of ignore it. I just launch it, not realizing that, Maven can witness this fight. Oh, shit. It's just the boss just got 10 times harder.
Yeah. Especially when she just starts healing him randomly.
Yeah. So that was a thing. I didn't notice that, but I did it. I downed him. I can confidently say I can confidently say that I can carry now that boss.
That's good because you can. I stayed dead.
It's not. I'm not really fast with it, but I'm. It only took me 5 minutes, a little less than that.
Probably less.
So
it didn't feel like 5 whole minutes.
Yeah, it's over, and I didn't die at once. So, which is confident. I'm confident about it. Other than that, I'm working towards now start doing Conqueror. So going to start doing Sheeper and Elder and all those guys. I've been collecting, amassing at least 20 of those maps, so I can start doing them and then be able to keep getting them as I'm doing the bosses.
Yeah, kind of self-sustain it.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. I think the build so far, I'm up to. I want to be generous and say maybe 15 divines, maybe a little less. My weapon is the most expensive thing. My weapon is about what was it, 6, 7 divines?
I think it was 6 because you
Yeah,
had 5 and I gave you 1.
yeah. So it's about 6 divines. That's the most important. The most expensive. Everything else is like popcorn, like 150 to 1 divine items that I have scattered across.
Okay.
But I've been making decent money. I'm not complaining. I've been making decent money running maps. I'd be finding the just random shit is worth like 60, 70 chaos here and there.
That's always good. It doesn't, you don't need to be just like breaking the bank with like 18 divine sales every time. You just
It's
have to make money.
I tell you what, it's um you know what happens in society when you look at famous people and the shit that they have. They always got the latest cars, the biggest mansions and shit like that.
Oh, like you're expecting you wanted like a mage blood and shit, or
Yeah, when you watch streamers, like you get this sense of like everything should be a GG drop. Like everything should be that. And it's just like, nah,
well,
90% of the game should, and it's not like that.
I don't understand how people even get that kind of feeling towards something, because you sit there and you think about it, right? These guys are putting ridiculous amounts of hours into the game, and it's like, yeah,
they clip the highlights.
Yeah, you saw 10 minutes of their 70 or 80-hour fucking time that week, fucking grinding fucking maps harder than we've ever grinded maps. Like,
right.
Like, I know for a fact, like, even though I do well in the league most of the time, like, dude, I am the worst about grinding maps. I do it. I love making a build that does it. Once I get to the point where I can, holy shit,
that's a good segue, because you should announce what you've done.
Oh yeah. I forgot to bring it up. I transferred into Cast on Crit from my, what was it? I was self-cast Soul Rend. And it was, the last build was okay. It worked. I put
the self-cast.
Yeah, it was fine. Like it functioned for what I needed. It helped with the league mechanic because of the whole like resetting.
I'm so sad that you've transitioned.
I
don't want to dead name you, but I'm so sad.
I get you, but I really wanted to go COC, and then I wanted to go into the melee thing, like really bad.
Yeah.
I felt bad.
It was a gentleman's agreement. So
it was. And the problem I'm having now is I went to a squishier build that's way shorter range, but way higher damage, and has a way higher damage ceiling. I'm at a point right now where I was thinking about it. I figured out how I can fix this.
Every time you say that, every single time I've heard you say that this league, it's always a 5-6 divine.
Yes.
Trip down like rabbit hole.
That's actually, it's funny that you say that, because I'm 4 divine away from fixing it and 4 levels. I got 2 divines sometime yesterday in just random sales and shit. I need an unnatural instinct. So for those of you that don't know what that is, it's a jewel that that basically gives you all the stats in a radius of the jewel socket on your passive tree. So it can give you oodles of stats for, just a couple of points.
Just
it's
one,
really, really worth
1
it.
point, yeah.
Oh, well, no, because usually where you want to put it is a place where like your build is lacking, right? So,
but I'm saying you just need the jewel socket point.
The jewel socket point and the travel to get there, depending on if you travel. Because like for me, I have to travel.
Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to travel 4 points to get what I need out of it. So that's kind of an investment, but at the same time,
you don't want to put it somewhere you're already in, like
right,
the area you're already in, because there's no point to that. I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
So I need more decks, and I'm on the witch side of the tree. So right now I'm fixing that with the 30 dex node, and I just want to travel, get that unnatural instinct, and that'll end up giving me a much better leech, so I'll survive better. Right now I think my issue is my energy shield leech is just not fast enough. I'm leeching enough, just not fast enough. So I need to increase my energy shield recharge rate like badly.
Okay.
Um,
How deep?
I'm
How deep are you right now? Because you need another 4 divs. You said.
yeah, uh, 17 to 18 div. Nah, let me think about it. Yeah. No. Yeah. 17 div. We got the 13 from that night. I ended up selling my old shit to complete some other shit, and then I had to spend almost an hour and a half buying cluster jewels, and then almost a half hour buying normal jewels, and then just futzing with it all. And all of these things that these people use, dude, they're so expensive.
Yeah.
They're so damn expensive. It's never just like, oh yeah, the thing that makes your build really good is 4C. Like no, like I'm sitting there buying these clusters.
Well, you
I
wasn't
think
making a budget build to begin with.
that's true. I could have tried to go for something that would have been
Like,
easier.
yeah, nothing. Yeah, I don't think you've made a budget build in a while.
Soul Rend actually was a pretty budget build.
You went like 5 divs into that build before you decided to
That,
shift.
but it was functional with like 200 chaos. Like straight up. Like I will be 100% real.
So it was a
Soul
1
Rend
div build.
Occultist. Yeah, like Soul Rend Occultist it's really easy to get going because most of your power comes from the fact that you get free corpse explode on your tree. So all you need to really worry about is killing the first thing. And then once you kill the first thing, all of your stuff starts putting a DPS on other stuff and they explode. You know, it just starts taking care of itself.
Right.
You're not fast by any means, but and then when you run into bosses and shit, your DPS is your dot. So what you have to do in those situations is usually drop a taunt totem and then put 3 different damage over times on it, like kind of cycling through. So that you can keep all of your dot damage on it as long as you can, but that leaves you usually to being exposed if you're watching your timers and then you get clapped by something. It's just like, yeah. I didn't feel like dealing with it anymore. It from that point, if I didn't swap to COC and kept working on that character would have ended up becoming something completely and different anyway. That would have ended up becoming like a cast when damage taken character eventually. Because what's better than casting Soul Rend? Not casting Soul Rend and it just happening.
But you eventually didn't go Soul Rend with the COC. You went
I swapped. Sure, yeah. I went Frost Nova and Frostbolt, I think.
The orb.
Ice
the orb.
Frost. Yeah, Frostbolt.
Is that Frostbolt? That big ball?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's
a big ass bolt.
Yeah. Ice Spear is the one that's like the little pew. I was thinking of going so right now I have 2 Ice Novas linked into different parts of my gear. So I have 2 Ice Novas going off, and I was thinking of making one of those an Ice Spear, and I think that would end up helping with my boss damage, but it would make my clear a little worse. But I need to fix my resists like really, really badly, and I also
you basically need that unnatural instinct.
Yeah, that, or I could fix it through a belt and boots, but that would basically be the cost of an unnatural instinct because the belt and boots that I would need would be along the lines of 2 to 3, like 2 to 3 divine each at minimum, and that's like if I'm not worried about secondary stats. So I'm playing an ironically squishier build with way higher damage and loving and hating it at the same time.
It is satisfying to see everything explode, and you have returning projectiles.
I do, because I went with Phantasmal Frostbolt, which gives me 23% chance for my stuff for those to return.
So it's really satisfying to see. Even like for when I map with you, you die if something breathes on you. But when you starts to go, I don't even have to hit anything. I just chase you around and everything explodes and dies.
It's like I'm
And
at
whenever something doesn't die, I look at it and just slap it with my axe and it dies.
True. It's
how
like
dare you live?
I have 17 health and 3300 ES. The builds that I've seen accomplishing this somehow are rocking like 13k ES, and I don't know how they're doing it. Like I'm really tripping out, like because I'm
They
like,
probably
dude,
got
how
ES on every build, on every
that's
gear.
that's probably also true.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like to start accomplishing that. So I thought that if that's the case, and that's the only way I know that I can fix this, I think what ends up needing to happen is I need to replace boots, gloves, and my belt to just work off of ES stacking. And even then, like I think if I do start stacking my base ES as high as I can't see myself going.
You need a crystal belt base for your belt.
Ew.
Yeah, that's the highest ES belt. You need a tier 1 with tier 1 stats on it, and that's not going to be cheap.
No, it isn't. Crystal belts are always expensive.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm using a Stygian vise because
you could craft one, but that's gonna be
yo, wait, actually, homie, you're actually very right. I appreciate you saying that because you're not wrong, and that
wouldn't be too hard to get
a
a crystal belt base 85 and then try to get two tier 2s or
I
tier
would,
1s resist on it with some life.
I would spam it with essences of woe.
Yeah.
Because and then I would
double check that. I don't know.
Oh
what
no,
Essence of
Essence
Woke is a belt.
Essence, yeah, it does. It's max or 32 to 37 ES on the Shriekings. I'm in game. I'm looking at them.
Okay. I'm like, wait. I'm
Wait,
staring
what?
I'm staring at my notes.
For sure. But yeah, I think I would go Essences of Woe unless I want to be a butthole, in which I will put. What else could I put on
fossils? There? You could do fossils as well.
I could. Do I have any
fossils?
fossils?
Might be. Depending on how many Shriekings you have. If you have a bunch, you want to just experiment, drop a few, do it, and then maybe get a second one and just roll some fossils.
Nah, fossils would be harder.
Oh.
Fossils would be harder because Shrieking or Essences of Woe straight up have an ES tag on it. So that's guaranteed that I'm keeping ES. There's no guaranteed ES tags for fossil. That's a rough one. Fossil crafting is always rough. Deciding how many fossils to use and which is always a pain.
I've sold most of my old gear for probably under 50 chaos so far. And that's a combination of the fact that it's pretty low. I hate to say this, that it's pretty late in the league, but we're officially now over the 2-week mark of league launch.
Most stuff is almost standard pricing now.
Yeah, now it's like stabilizing at standard price. So you can't sell like my axe that I had. I can't sell that for a div. Even though it is a 600 DPS physical DPS axe. It wasn't cheap to get when I first got it. But now it's kind of like I had to sell it for like, I believe it was 40 chaos. And the guy who bought it for me, he asked me what is the current axe that I'm using, and I linked it to him. He was like, "Oh, how much would that go for?" And I was like, "It cost me 6 divs." He's like, "For real? How much more damage is it?" I'm like, "Honestly, just 200 more damage, because the one you just got was 600, and this was I believe with the 30% it's like 850." So it's a little more. I upgraded it. I bought it at 800 and I upgraded it to give me that extra 50. So that's the difference of a boost of physical DPS on the axe. And to ironically to go more than 800 to like 1,000, I'm looking at maybe 100 divs. So
For now.
Yeah. But everything is stabilizing, and what I was trying to say is that you're gonna find things right now in the market as much cheaper than on League launch.
Oh, absolutely.
So this is around the time where if you haven't been able to min-max your character, this is where it starts to get a little easier to do it. I know around this time is where I think it dies down. It starts to the population of path starts to die down a little bit. People get a little burnt out. But this is usually around the time that you need to like, oh, okay, let me actually start going on the market, figuring out what I need to buy, what I need to get, keep an eye on, certain items.
Right. It's always good to make sure that you're not necessarily keeping up with the market, but checking for the things that you would like on the market as each day goes by. Every now and again, you'll see, granted, a fair amount of the things that you'll check for go up. For instance, my guess, I haven't looked. My guess, an Unnatural Instinct has not gotten cheaper. But as a matter of fact, I'm curious. I'm gonna look. But generally speaking, when you're trying to trade for things like this, most mundane rares, things that would be good stand-ins for your late game stuff are getting cheaper. Most people are upgrading and therefore selling their older stuff, and no one's trying to get the same price out of the older stuff that they put into it, and if they are, they're just not selling it.
Right.
There's just too much of it on the market. People are destroying their items, not necessarily at a high rate. Because for instance, like you had a 200 and change DPS upgrade that you can get. You could have either bought that for the 6 divine or rolled a temple and deleted your current axe for a couple divine.
Yep.
That might have been able to give you something pretty fucking good that might have made up perfectly, might have given you a curse on hit. You don't know what it would have given you, but at the same time, is it really worth to do on the 600 DPS axe? No, probably not. So let me get the thing that is worth doing that to, and then once you get there, and then you're standing at the altar with your double corrupt, you're like, do I really want to do this? Am I about to delete this item? Like
the current population right now is about 50,000 people.
Dude, that's actually impressive for week 2.
And at peak, obviously, peak was 165, and all time was 200,000 people.
And that's just Steam, right?
That's Steam charts, yeah. But yeah, it's ironically it's really up and down. Like you see, it's a very even distribution of up, down, up, down, up, down, and it starts to gradually, like just on a downward slope, just the same up, down, but it's the same size. I'm gonna show this on the stream. Browser. So I'm showing on the stream right now that it's funny how it looks, because it looks like when you used to draw teeth on a character as a kid. You kind of just do like little triangles up and down.
You looking at the market or?
Yeah, the population of Path of Exile. Launch. It's very up and down like teeth. But it's a downward slope. It's not that big a deal. But it's week 2 is usually when it starts to stabilize. It will go down a little more around the 1 month mark. And that's usually where the numbers of the 1 month mark is usually where it stays for the rest. It changes a little bit by month 2 and 3 because most of the people already finished their achievements. They already pretty much grinded the shit out the game. There's nothing else to do at that point. And then they usually start moving on to different games.
Yeah. I'm looking at it. Dude, Storm Shroud, 4 div. Unnatural Instinct went up to 6.5.
And that's probably because limited stocks of that.
Not only limited, but the simple fact that it's always going to be strong.
That's actually another good point. I just realized that as the time goes on, more and more people find shit.
Yeah,
and the market becomes more saturated with items.
Yeah, but when so many items are not necessarily like common, what ends up happening is everybody that's making a build wants the item,
That's
so
true.
there's not enough of them. It's just it's a supply demand, but there's just not enough. It's just like, what the fuck?
I mean, if you're out there and like you're struggling because you can't barely find a div, don't worry about it. I'm telling you, don't worry about it. It's not that big a deal. It really isn't. As long as you can run maps. If your character is running maps, if you can run white maps, you are on the right path. Literally, no pun intended.
But you always got to go and have like a goal. If you want to get to these end tier kind of areas, you just gotta put in the time, keep going, push yourself. Don't feel bad about where you are in the game. Just know that that's where you're supposed to be right now, and that's
Right.
where you improve.
Yeah, I mean, maps is end game. That's the end game. It doesn't get. There's no more game after that. Now, there's tier ones. There's red tier maps, and there's the bosses, but
based and fucking expedition bosses. Like, I don't know. Maps
that's true. But
there's a lot.
But you need the maps to get. Even like if you do delve, right? You still need to do maps to get the juice for the delve. So at it, the root of all the content that relies on the maps. No matter what content you like, because even if you want to do expedition, you still need to do the maps in order to get the logbooks and all that other shit. Now, technically, yes, you can buy the logbooks if you're somehow ranking in so much money using one specific like delve. You can you buy the delve juice? I don't even know.
You can do rotations.
Okay.
So you just join like a group of 6 people. They all put in one of their Nico missions on a tier 16 map. There's usually a carry, and it just rolls through 6 maps for you guys. And at that point, you're at max juice.
Okay.
So you don't even have to do it yourself. Yeah.
That's pretty advanced though. To know how to do that, how to get that set up, get on TFT and do all that. For the common player, I don't know if they're
3 maps
running 6 five-way Nico maps to get delve juice. But if you are, I'm gonna assume if you're doing delve hardcore, you may already know how to do this. I figured out some of that.
Yeah, I'm not deep enough into delve for me to know like very complicated or interesting strats. I know very little things and what people used to do, generally speaking. And then every now and again, like when I'm perusing TFT, you'll see it. It's be like, oh, Nico wrote a. And it's just like, really? People are still doing that? Like,
I came across, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I came across one dude who he was having trouble completing his white maps. He was like up to like tier 2. And what it was is just his resist.
Yeah.
His resist was like it was dog shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, dude.
He told me what they were. I'm like, bro, nah. You gotta have max resist if you're trying to go map. Like you can't. I'm surprised you even made it this far.
Do you think I'm anywhere near capped on any resist with the way that you see me map? I'm just wondering.
I think you just kill shit fast enough that it don't hit you.
Yeah, absolutely. That and I'm freezing it, or very, very.
You just
slowly.
hit shit fast enough. They die fast enough. Whatever doesn't die usually is the one that can turn around like blap.
50, 36, 68, 35.
Yeah. This one dude had a negative though. He had a negative.
Negative chaos resist.
No, he had negative cold.
Oh, yeah, that's the.
And worst. He was like, I can't fucking
do anything.
Yeah, I can't. Like shit just kills me fast. I'm just like, yeah,
like, here,
resist, man.
See items. See, that's usually when I run across those people. That's usually what I do. Is I just give them some 3C items.
To me, like the main difference between a tier 1 map and a tier 16 map is just damage and shit hitting you hard. No.
There's way more shit.
I mean, shit's gonna hit you harder, and shit's gonna take more hits.
Because
they're all the main difference.
So, but the thing is they're higher level, right? So
yeah, but I'm saying like
no. But this makes a difference in a lot of nuanced ways, right? So, say you are level 71 and you're getting into mapping, right? The base on the tier 1, I think, is 68 or 69 level. So you'll be more likely to hit them. They're going to do naturally less damage to you, and like there's a whole bunch of weird like background shit like for damage calculations and for their damage calculations, their speed and stuff like that.
But follow my logic here.
Uh-huh.
If your build is successful at a tier 1 map, it can theoretically be successful at a tier 16 map. You just have to up your defenses, your life, and your damage to match that of a tier 16 map.
Yeah, it's not like the AI changes, but like it's definitely harder. You're finding scarier mods on when you're rolling the map itself. Like I don't know
that's
if
true.
I know you know this because you've been rolling a lot of maps lately, and
thanks to you, honestly.
I'm glad that you noticed, but I'm glad that you're like enjoying that portion of it. But I
don't know about enjoying it.
It's a good process, at least.
it's my inner cheap skate kind of gets a little antsy when I have to use like 10C for one damn map.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm like I roll 72, roll 72, roll 65. I'm like, come on, this is the 5th chaos I'm using on this damn map.
You see, that's the other thing. You're using chaos. What?
I mean, I alternate depending on it. Like I use scours and alks.
Always wait. You use alks?
Yeah.
Oh god.
What do you use?
You know, bindings.
Oh, I don't have no more bindings. I've used them all out already.
Oh, okay. How do you not have? Okay,
I mean, you know,
but,
I have a whole 2 weeks worth. I've used them out already.
Oh, okay.
So now I shifted over. I have like over 200 calcs right now.
I'm at 116.
So I alternate. Sometimes I get lazy. I don't like doing the scour alk. So I'll just do chaos.
Are you using an empty tab and just putting all?
I haven't used that. I'm not making that many maps. I use them. I make enough maps to I make enough maps to what I'm gonna do that moment. Like I'll make 10 to 15 maps, and I'll run them all. Like the maps that I made earlier, I wasn't able to finish them all up only because, toddler and life happened, so I wasn't able to finish them. I can't with my family commitment. I can't sit there and make 100 maps. It's no way. I'm never gonna finish those maps, and I'm just gonna waste a bunch of currency.
Are you using regex?
What? Yeah. No, that's actually. We should go through that.
Okay.
So originally, I think part of our original conversation on Wednesday was that a lot of times we just fucking out and go.
Yeah.
And
that'll kill us.
One of the things that I realized is like one of the reasons why I don't get fucking drops is because a lot of the maps I run just to have my survival stats, meaning like I didn't do physical reflect, for example. I can't do it.
Right.
So if it doesn't have that, I'll do the map and I'll complete it, boom. But I won't get any fucking drops. And I'm doing 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 maps. I'm sitting there like, bro, nothing dropping, bro, nothing. But since I've started doing what you've suggested, which was like look specifically at pack size and quantity. Ever since then, now every time, even if I spend 5 to 6 chaos on rolling this one map, if I get like a 95% quantity plus
almost guaranteed you get it out.
Yeah. In a between 27 to 30 around that butter zone of pack size. Plus, I put 3. I picked up the node horde. What is it?
Growing hordes.
Growing hordes. So I put 3 scarabs in there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So when the maps are beefy, they're not super juiced, but they're beefy. So I'm always getting back at least between 5 and maybe 50 chaos per map.
Easily.
Yeah.
Granted, you might not be picking most of it up, but you're definitely like it's there.
Yeah, between Conqueror maps, between the Conqueror maps that I'm getting almost every time, like I'll get the odd item here and there that's worth 20, 30 chaos. The popcorn currencies, you know, and a few other things that drop that's worth a little money here and there. Yeah, it's not I can't ignore it. It's like, oh, this is fucking working. It feels rewarding.
Mapping is more rewarding when you do. I'm not trying to be a dick, but when you pay attention to it, like, yeah, it's important.
It does help. It does help immensely when you don't have to worry as much with the stats. If like you only have 1 or 2 stats that you need to really be worried about, which for me are cannot maybe 3. That third one really fucks me up sometimes. That cannot leech from monsters. Sometimes I can get away with it, but sometimes I cannot, depending on. And I think now because the pack sizes are getting bigger and bigger, I don't think I can deal with it. So I'm adding that to the list. So yeah. I cannot leech, cannot regen life, which ironically kills your leech as well.
Yep.
And physical reflect. Everything else I can survive. Sometimes I'll die with that critical map that I ran.
Yeah.
I died a few times on that one.
Dude, crits are scary. Like,
yeah.
Dude, think about it. Well, it's not necessarily.
I try to depend on killing them first before they kill me.
You know, my build should tell you that doesn't always work.
It doesn't always work, I know. But, you know.
Like, it's one of those things where if you're okay with just being like, oh yeah, dude, fucking, you got 6 portals, let's go. Like, sure, do it. Like, me personally,
it's always that one fucking rare though.
I don't know, because I have to roll my maps crazy carefully. That's why, like, the last time we mapped for a little bit, like, I died almost instantly. In both
I realized
maps.
I'm just gonna have to just run his maps. I'm not afraid of none of this shit, so it's like whatever. Like I can't.
And my maps are safe for you. Like your maps, on the other hand, nah, dude. Too many things hit the fuck out of me. Yeah. Like you have to like. I have to have things.
I don't put RF to shame, but I don't think I could. I would not win in a fight against an RF when it comes to defenses. But something about just juggernauts in general, like they don't fucking die. Like
they have a lot of
it don't matter how bad your juggernaut build is. As long as it's a juggernaut, you're not gonna die. You're gonna die less than mostly every other ascendancy. Like it sticks true to that fucking that concept of being like just really hard to kill.
Oh, I died again. Speaking of, I died again. I'm actually curious.
You was going to mention the webpage. What'd you say?
How many times do you think I've died?
Fuck, I don't know. Now? Since the new rebuild?
Yeah. I remember how many times I died with Soul Rend, and I now know the number how many times I've died with this.
That's a fucking hard. I'm going on a limb and say 40.
Oh god. Nah, dude, I've died an extra 150 times since fucking moving over to the build. I'm at 244 deaths.
Since you made the switch?
Yeah, this build is not tanky and really does not enjoy like things looking at it.
Which is ironically because it's like you always gotta be knee deep in everything.
I have to be knee deep in everything, and so I need to look into this a little bit better because there's certain shit that's happening that I don't quite understand. Either too many things are able just to overwhelm. Like when I'm in a pack, my effective health pool should be like 35,000 ish. It's not.
I mean,
like very simply, it's not. Like something's happening to where I just get touched and I'm gone. and I'm not having like very many spikes. Like the fact that chaos damage doesn't penetrate my ES doesn't seem to work sometimes. Like I don't know. Like
Hey,
I'm
this is your
feeling
first
like,
ES build, right?
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
It,
it's
it,
trouble
they're a
for
little
me.
different. They're a little different than the effective like health pools. Like if you have 6,000 HP, the way like chaos will rip through a six that health pool. ES is different. ES operates kind of different. Um, Sometimes I compare it to mana. Like it works very similar to mana. The way it regions, it just interfaces with the PoE world. But I'm not an ES expert either. Like I've never been able to run a ES build efficiently. I always find it hard to stack ES. Ironically hard, like it maybe because of the changes of HP, they've made stacking HP a lot easier since the whole new life pools.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the new life stats on all the items. But I've never been the one ES build I made. I wasn't able to break 7,000. It
Wow.
gets really expensive.
Yeah, yeah. Especially because like you
But
said,
they
you need to
are
be stacking
unkillable once you
pieces.
get that point.
I'm hoping I get to that point fucking eventually. I think I'm only like leeching what 0.5 of my attack damage in mana, and then for my ES, I think I'm leeching what. Where is that at? Oh, it's over here. Let's see, 15% increased mana from leeching, 1% of spell damage.
The I wanted to mention this before I forget. When it comes to making maps and rolling maps, you really only want to do this when you're like doing T16 maps. You don't want to go this hard if you're doing white or yellow maps. Like if you're doing white or yellow maps, just Alk and go. Like even if you're in white maps, just make it blue and go.
Am I stupid? Why am I doing this?
I don't know. What are you doing? No one else can see what you're doing.
Sorry, stupid. I'm trying to figure out where my leech is coming from right now, and 80 from. I'm getting just like spell damage.
Can't you
Leeches.
see it on your Don't look at you looking at your tree or you're looking at your
Right now, I'm looking at my tree.
So look at your character sheet. It tells you what a leech. How much total leech you have.
Right, but I'm trying to find where I'm getting it.
Oh. It's only a few nodes that give you leech, especially the node that converts life leech into energy shield instead.
Right, but the thing is, I'm not using that. I don't know where my leech is coming. Yeah, I don't know where my leech is coming from right now.
I can't help you that. I don't.
As a matter of fact,
that's some voodoo shit. I don't know.
Right,
maybe it's I mean, I was gonna say ascendancy. Maybe it's an item then.
Let me check.
But yeah. So if you're doing white and yellow maps, don't go crazy with because it burns a lot of currency, and if the map you're running isn't gonna give you currency back, it's gonna be hard to sustain that. So don't just white maps, just blue and go. Yellow maps, just Alk and go. And once you get to red maps, the drop rate of Alks increases, and you'll be able to do that more often. Once you get a steady flow of chaos orbs and all that stuff, then you can start going a little crazier and looking for quantity and stuff like that. It's all about sustaining. You don't want to blow your whole load on doing a few maps because you're not going to. There's a high chance you're not going to get shit back. And I know we mentioned this on Wednesday, but you don't have to pick up everything.
No, you don't. Pick up the things that you know are generally going to give you a decent return on the way back, or have a higher chance to be better items than just the random stuff you find on the floor. fractured mods, basically the mods
Yeah,
that
any fractured. And you said this Wednesday, and it's fucking important. If you're doing white or yellow maps, or even literally red maps, and you pop something and it dropped 6 to 8 fractured or synthesized item, you need to fucking ID all of them. And and if you have either the overlay or awaken PoE or you have anything, you need to price check them. Because chances are one or maybe two of those items may be worth a pretty penny in order for you to go into your funds. You'd be surprised how much of those bases are fucking helpful to mid-tier players or even high-tier players that are looking for like a quick crafting base with a fraction mod to be able to make something to be able to do, some kind of content. So you need to, that it was a really good tip. But other than that, chaos recipe.
Yeah, no, don't bother. If you see if anybody is telling you do chaos recipe, I have, me and the homie here have not touched a single chaos recipe all league. I still haven't gotten the little achievement for it. Like,
Me
it's
neither,
just it's such a waste of time. It's sad.
It's very time consuming. It is very high time consuming. It really is.
And it's space consuming.
Oh yeah, that too.
Like, that takes a, like, don't get me wrong. I understand.
I had a quad tab just for that.
Yeah. Like, I understand if you're balling and you don't give a shit about space and you're rocking like me and the homie here and you got a whole bunch of stash tabs, doesn't matter. This particular argument doesn't really mean too much to you. But for people who have, the 4 tabs that the game gives you, or 5 tabs, you bought an extra tab here and there, and or maybe only have a currency tab. People who have limited space that haven't been playing for very long, like, yeah, don't bother. That shit's gonna eat up all of your space, and then by the time, if you do end up getting far enough into the game where you're doing well and now you're picking up like more expensive shit, you're just gonna look at all the shit in those tabs just like, fuck, dude, I had to fender all this.
Yeah,
and none of it's gonna give you chaos.
I don't even if I price something and it's worth 1 to 5 chaos, I don't even put it up for sale. At this point, I don't even put it up for sale. I'm like, fuck it, I just chuck it. Because the problem is that even if I put up the sale, someone's gonna want to buy it, and eventually it's gonna have to. I'm gonna have to fucking leave my map to sell something that's worth 2 or 3 chaos. And I'm. It's not that I don't need that 2 or 3 chaos. It's just that if I just do a map, I can get that 2 or 3 chaos. I don't. It's. The money will come. The currency will come, but you need to, if you only have 3 hours to play, let's say you're me, right? You have a toddler, you have a wife, you have responsibilities. You only have 3 maybe hours to play if you're lucky after work, right? After you put the baby to sleep, you got 3 hours. You gotta maximize that fucking time. You can't be picking up chaos recipes. You fucking can't. It takes way too much time, and you're only gonna get, what is it, 2 chaos?
2 or 3, or 2, 4, or 6, depending on how many you can stock up at once. Turn in.
The biggest change to my game was the day I stopped doing chaos recipes, and I had like 3 apps helping me do chaos recipe. I had the map that tracks it by color. When the drop, it changes the colors of my my loot filter, so I knew exactly what I was missing. It updated every single time. It was fucking. It made it as fast as possible, but I still wasn't breaking 5 divs. The only way you break 10 divs in Path is to just run shit.
Honestly, like,
and to just get super drops.
The richest I ever was in Path of Exile was when I started playing my Ward Looper, right? And I realized I could literally just fucking dead sprint through these maps, basically. And if my loot filter made a certain noise, I would turn around and I would look for what it made. Other than that, I would just kill shit, move to the next map, kill shit, move to the especially at that build, because there was very little things that would brick my build other than like cooldown recovery.
It gets to in the position that we're at, nothing unless it sounds like the top end. Nothing else underneath is gonna help us. Yeah, like it needs to be super or just keep pushing, keep going. Because at the shit that we need costs 5, 6, 7, 10, 20 divs. And unless it
only way I'm gonna be able to buy that is find
it. Exactly. Like it makes no sense to stop. Like I'll pick up popcorn currencies on the way, like especially if like because it's easier on the controller. I don't have to click. I could just keep pressing the A button, and I'm running and just picking up all the popcorn shit that you're leaving behind. Only because it's like I don't have to do anything. I'm just pressing a goddamn button.
Yeah, easier for you. For me, it's like I have to hold the loot button.
You stop attacking.
Yeah. Oh God. Maybe you know what? Maybe we should put this on when we do map. We should put it on free for all, and then you just map or you just get all the shit.
Nah, fuck that. No.
Why not? Please, I don't.
No, fuck that.
I don't want to die.
Because then I have to then now divvy shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck would I want to do that?
Because you're awesome and.
It's harder with a controller. Remember, I can't split stacks like holding shift and shit. I have to like click like 8 different buttons. I have to hold my elbow, lick my elbow a little bit, and just fucking.
I'll do that part then. You just shove it into the guild stash.
I'll be fine with that. If I could just shove it in the guild stash and you divide everything, I'm fine.
Yeah, cool. I'm down. That makes everything a lot easier because I don't know if you noticed, dude, when we did that blight map, how many times I'm trying to click on one fucking thing and just can't.
I do sometimes have that problem with the. I have to like position. You know my problem with portals. Like, there's when they're using a controller to play, and for those people wondering, like, why the fuck do I play with a controller, bro? Because of carpal tunnel, man. You play a path as much as I do, and historically as I do. After a while, your fucking wrist starts to hurt, and I need to find a alternative way of playing path and not fucking up my wrist, because I also work in using computers and shit like that. So like I'm not trying to get no carpal tunnel, I'll tell you that much. So I find it just forcing me to learn how to use controllers to play path, especially as many hours as I do, helps alleviate some of that tension that I have on my wrist.
I might just be like just one of those people that's just like, I learned it one way. I'm gonna keep playing it that one way. I'm so used to.
No, I had to force myself. Because it felt very weird. It felt very icky.
I tried it for a little bit because I was like, oh, if this, because you broke down the same basic argument when they released the controller support, where you're just like, oh yeah, dude, this will help with that, and like, you know what, it's not a bad idea. I tried it. It was just like, dude, I'm dying all over the place.
Yeah, it feels bad. It feels bad when you play it, but after a while, you start to like, okay, it's one of those things where it's like medicine. You drink medicine, you're like, oh, this shit tastes nasty, but then you start feeling a little better. You're like, all right, let me just drink some more because I know I'm gonna get better. It's one of those things where like not right now my wrist don't hurt and shit like that, so I force myself to play it, and I don't regret it. I can still play it both ways. Oh, that sounds oddly gross when I say it that way. But
I think that's just because you have a dirty mind. I think that's where that goes.
But I can play both ways. I can play a path. I will say this: muscle memory is a bitch. Muscle memory is a bitch because I can't play my build right now on keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
Because my muscle memory is so used to the controller because I've been playing it since level 1 that everything's configured just to be able to be on a controller. I find it weird to do a keyboard and mouse, but if I could play a whole league with keyboard and mouse, I'd be fine.
You know what? I think I might end up making a build specifically for keyboard and mouse, and because wait, no, I can't. Because didn't we have this moment when I was like, hey man, how do you switch weapons? And you told me, and it was like way too complicated.
Yeah, no, it is, but it is not. I found that everything that you can do in the game with keyboard and mouse is just replaced by a combination of buttons.
You're learning combos.
But yeah. Yes, you have to learn combos in order to be able to play with control. It takes a lot of getting used to. Trading it's fucking hard. It's not easy with a controller. But once you get used to like what you have to press, I still make a few mistakes here and there, but it's doable. But if you're doing hardcore, like when I do my Atlas tree or my skill tree,
how do you type?
that's like that's
like, because I notice every now and again you'll have like a short message for me or something, but I wonder that all the time. Like, how the fuck did he just say okay? Like,
that's a lot harder to explain. That's a lot harder to explain.
Is it like the whole like select menu and then it brings up like the on-screen keyboard, or?
Yeah, my controller, I just press. There's a button that you press for chat.
Oh, okay.
Now sometimes when you press that button, the chat doesn't come up. I don't know what it is. Sometimes it's just Path just being stupid.
It's just like, nah.
But it's usually the start button. Whenever you press the start button, it will bring up the chat.
Okay.
Here's where it gets complicated. Because sometimes when it comes up, you have to like press A to like activate the chat, and then you have to use a keyboard to type.
Oh.
And then you press enter and it goes in. Right.
That feels awful.
It feels awful. It does. It feels awful.
Or well, that feels awful because I
linking items is 10 times worse. For me to link an item, I have to press a combination of buttons. Right. Press it. Then I have to press the same combination again, but with a different button to enter into the chat. Then I have to press another combination to then acknowledge it so I can send. So it's 3 combos of buttons in order for me to link an item. To see an item that you linked, I have to press start to open the chat. I have to scroll up to acknowledge the previous chat, press A to highlight, and then it goes into it. It feels gross. Nothing about this feels good. It's just easy to just mouse over with a mouse. So I play Path like hybrid mode, where I'm in front of my PC, I have my mouse and keyboard, and I have my controller. And most of the time, for some of these tasks, I just mouse over with the keyboard. And we're like, oh, okay, I see it. Or when I start typing, I just my keyboard and I go back to mapping. I've gotten used to it. It works out just enough. It's one of those things. It's like anal. It's not something you're gonna be able to do overnight. You have to ease into it. At least that's what my wife says.
I think your wife's just scared. Oh, terrible. Oh my goodness.
Yes, it's an alternative, but I'm so happy they did it because that means I can play Path and I don't have to be in front of a computer.
I guess
so. I play Path. I fucking play Path when I'm in the car. I'll play Path when I'm in the fucking airport. I'll play Path wherever the fuck has internet.
I'm actually really curious about how that would feel, being able to just play Path on the go.
It's easy if you want to just run some maps, which is ironically why I never understood why they're coming out with the mobile version of Path.
Because basically, well, I don't know, because I think there is a difference because like you're playing on like a Steam Deck, right?
No, I play on my phone, bro.
Wait, what?
Yes.
How?
Bro, Steam Link.
Oh, okay.
Now, cool. I mean, I guess I have a little more advanced setup than most people, but Steam Link, if you have a computer and it's turned on, all you have to do is leave the computer turned on, go where the fuck you're going, and as long as you have Steam Link, you can connect to your computer over Wi-Fi.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, I actually came across that with a random Reddit post. This was a couple years ago. He was like, he randomly said something about, why is my iPad not working with Steam Link? Blah 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 blah. This was in a Path of Exile thing. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Path of Steam Link? Fuck, you could do that? I instantly was like, what the fuck is Steam Link?
Intrigued.
I looked it up. And I'm like, I installed it on my phone. I installed it on my app, my iPad at the time. I still have a new iPad that belongs to Dapper now, but yeah, I can play Path on my iPad, on my phone. I can play it on my TV, bro. I bought a new new Sony TV, one of the smart TVs, and you can install Steam Link into it. And so when I'm laying down, I can just, huh?
You play with your remote?
Yeah. Yeah. My remote's Bluetooth.
Sounds even worse. That sounds even worse. I'm talking like a TV remote. Like
no. Ironically, I have one of those. I have a few of the remotes that have like a built-in keyboard.
Oh God!
I have a few of those. So
I've seen them.
Yeah, so I technically can if I wanted to, but no, I use my Xbox controller.
Oh, okay.
And fucking works fine. Connections. I mean, if it's in house, it's better because the Wi-Fi. But when I'm on the road and I'm on my phone, for example, other than spotty signal, because phone 5G towers and all that shit. Other than that, I mean, I get a little lag here and there, but for the most part, I can just, let's say if I'm waiting for my wife to come out of fucking Kmart or Sears or whatever, I'm outside, I can run like 4 or 5 maps. And when I'm done, I just close it out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know how. I'm pretty sure that works a little bit better for you because, like, your build doesn't necessarily die.
That's true.
Like lag for me would especially being that my internet lags and I live in the desert, so my fucking 5G signal is not the best either. I'm pretty sure it would be like virtually.
You definitely need a solid Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi works better than just 5G. Even my 5G over here,
spotty enough.
It's spotty. Yeah, like it works, but like the screen gets real blurry sometimes.
I wonder if that's just because of like it's trying to send you what because think about
it's sending a fucking stream of the game from my PC.
What just fucking killed me, dude? Ugh, I was doing so
That's
well.
What def 205 now.
245.
But yeah, I think. But yeah, anyway, that's a segue to controls and shit. I'm not advocating using controls, but if you want to have the potential of playing Path outside of your home, maybe you went on vacation and you want to play Path a little bit, force yourself to use a controller. Just learn it, because everywhere outside of the conventional keyboard and mouse uses a controller. Or the control setup, and it works. It fucking works. It's just a little bit of getting used to it. It's very foreign. It's very weird. But other than that, and on the phone, if I wanted to chat, when I do the same thing, it just pulls up the phone keyboard.
Oh, okay.
And then you and then enter, and it sends it.
How can you trade? Like how bad are we talking? Have you tried it? Is it possible?
I've done a few trades. Not easy. It's not easy. Like if someone whispers you can, open up the chat window, go to their name, press A, and it gives you the options: invite to party, whisper, whatever.
Right. But like, how is your stash tab looking? And
it looks the same. It looks the same.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't. So Steam Link just streams your PC.
Oh, so it's basically like AirPlay.
Yeah, it just streams your PC. So the same way the game looks on the PC is how it looks on your phone.
But
everything's small. That's
well, yeah. So how do you can you grab your items pretty easily? Or
yeah, it's the same way. Like if you know how to use a controller on the PC when you're on the PC, then you'll know how to do it on on the phone. Now, granted, I don't use. You know when you play mobile games, you have that controller on-screen controller on the phone. I don't use that. I do not use that. I purchased a
one of the little doohickeys.
Yeah, a $30 doohickey for the phone that comes with a controller. It's a Razer Kishi. Let me see if I can pull it up. Razer. I'm not promoting them, but it's a pretty.
I imagine. So this is like just me being like a downer, but I think those things are just like, how can you fuck that up?
What a Razer?
No, like a thing. You make a fucking fake PS controller or a fake Xbox controller, and you just wrap it around your phone. I can't imagine.
You'd be surprised how you can fuck it up. You'd be surprised. So yeah, for those of you watching, that's a Razer Kishi. Because basically, it's a controller that basically opens up, and you can put your phone inside of it, and it connects. The interface connects to the port. They make it for iPhones and they make it for Androids. But you can easily fuck it up. You know why? Because if it's not universal and it doesn't respond to the phone and it doesn't connect very fast, you'll have connection problems and it won't fucking register the buttons and all that shit.
Oh, okay, fair.
But for some reason, the Razer Kishi never gave me a problem with my phone, and I don't have a fancy phone, so it just connected. That's it. I didn't have to do nothing else. It instantly recognized it. Steam was like, "That's a Razer Kishi. I know what that is," and it registered all the buttons. Like I didn't have to do shit. Same with the Xbox. Like most of the major brands have built-in support within Steam, but once you start going third-party controllers, good fucking luck.
Okay, fair enough.
Like it will just, I'm sure Steam would just give it like a generic, like, okay, I think I know what this controller is.
So, small segue. Have you updated your loot filter?
No.
Why
I mean,
not?
I because I download the fucking packet.
Yes, but you know the market changes, right? From when you downloaded the packet.
I never know that.
Jeez. Jingao. No.
It doesn't really change that much. Get out of here. Never sync. Hold on.
Bro, think about it, right? So when something happens on the market where, say, like heat shivers were worth 5C because not very many people were using them because no one's playing EA. Then all of a sudden, everybody hits the EA time, and now heat shivers a 45C item.
But do Filter Blade update it like that?
Yes. It's on the main website's page. Oh my god, man!
Hold on. I don't believe.
Bro, it even says that it updates with the market.
I'm looking at it right now. Where does it say that?
Let me open it.
FAQ. Okay. No profile. No. You talking about Filter Blade XYZ, right?
Yeah. So first thing, your filter has been successfully updated from version 8.10 to the current version 8.11, which is one thing. Second.
So I have the August 18th.
Good filter for beginners and new leagues. Hides bad rares and low value. That's really good for chaos. Shows too much for optimized builds. Pastels for
Where are you? Overview?
Yeah. One of the there you go. Neversync SC. Tiering based on current software economy. Updated every 4 hours.
Oh fuck.
So people of wherever we decide or wherever you decide to hear us on, yes, your filter updates every now and again. It's good practice just to update your filter so the game or so that your filter knows what it's looking for. Their prices on things change. Back on week 1, finding a gold rim was good.
That does explain a lot. I know this sounds fucking noob as shit, but I'm not gonna lie, that fucking explains a lot. Cause there'd be some drafts that be sitting there like, what the fuck? Why is this rare? This is fucking bullshit.
Oh, that's hilarious. So yeah, if you're wondering why your loot filter might be seeing an item and you're looking at it and it's like it's literally a piece of shit, you can't really think of like what the fuck this is for. It has like 10 life on it and shit. Like, dude, update your loot filter. It's out of date. It's looking for early league items because you know the market changes over hours. You know, it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not the guy that sits there and updates his loot filter every day. I don't do that. I update
You
once a
barely
week.
download the initial one.
Right, exactly. When I get my loot filter, usually update it once a week. Usually just to keep it up there that way. But there's too many things that change, and the economy is so fluctuating. Like, granted, like you're not gonna miss anything big like a nurse, but smaller things where a unique has become a staple in a build, it'll definitely make a difference.
I'm
updating your filter.
Yeah, I'm actually adding the Portal Scrolls to if those people are watching, they're like, what the fuck is he doing? I'm running out of Portal Scrolls, so if I'm gonna re-download them, I might as well just get fucking Portal Scrolls to show up.
I could have swore there was a way of getting Portal Scrolls, but I know there's a way of getting Wisdoms. I just turned Transmutes into Wisdoms.
Yeah, you gotta sell.
Oh,
you're supposed to sell. You're supposed to sell Transmute. I don't. Man.
No, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to sell armor scraps.
Yeah, some shit like that.
I sell Transmutes because I never pick up armor scraps and whetstones and shit.
But my thing is this: why would I want to sell something when I can just pick it up? So I just what I try to remember is to. What I try to remember is just to customize it and make sure that the Portal Scrolls show up at high levels.
Oh, that's I think that's not a bad idea. I hate pick, dude. I know you notice how many times I have had no portals. I just hate doing it. What's gonna end up happening is I'm gonna run out of portals because I usually float around 80 to 120. I'm gonna run out one day and then I'm gonna fucking get pissed and I'm gonna spend like 50 chaos on like 1200.
All right, downloading all filters again. I didn't know that shit. I mean, I think I intrinsically knew, right?
But you didn't like examine it.
But I guess it never really dawned upon me that it really mattered that much. If that makes sense.
Matters enough. It's not like, oh, dude, your loot filter's gonna be seeing all the items that you've been missing. Like, it's not like that, but it definitely helps with just keeping up to date with like. Dude, because the meta is changing all the time too.
Mm-hmm. No, you're fucking right about that.
Like, there's all kinds of neat shit that you'll end up seeing. Like, my loot filter dings really loud for Heat Shiver. Like, really bad. It's like a 55C item, and it dings. It's like, yo, get that shit. Why? Because they sell like fucking hotcakes. Because EA Ballista is a very.
I can explain why I don't fucking make money as much.
You make money.
I said as much.
I think you've made more money than me this league.
I said as much.
What? Wait, how? As much of what? As much as what?
I'm just saying as much. Like I don't make. I feel like I
should. As in, like
you
should be making more money. Well, there's a million reasons why we don't make more money.
I fucking suck. That's why.
We suck. We're not juicing. Like.
Oh, I was gonna wait before you segue. If you noticed, what I did is that I chose when I did my filter, I did custom sounds. Now this is a very important plug on our webpage, and we have a webpage. All right, I put this together. Very simple. Shows a little bit of ourselves, and boom. We have our own custom loot filters. Now, these are loot filters that I've made for myself over the past couple of years. I just find little things here and there, and I'm like, oh, this is be a cool loot filter. I just put them together, and I'm pretty much are distributing them for anyone who wants to check them out and have them. I made my own Wu-Tang clan filter. Rick and Morty, which is one of the original ones. I may not. I can't take full credit for the Rick and Morty. So I think I found it somewhere else. But I made some changes to it myself. Like I think I changed one or two sounds because the original packet sounded kind of muffled. It's almost like they used like a phone to record it over a speaker. It kind of sounded muffled, so I found the original sound and chopped it up. These are free. Obviously, I don't charge for these things. And I also made a Chris Wilson loop filter for his the last
Exile Con.
Yeah, because he was saying some goofy shit. So I was like, you know what? I wonder if I can. I challenge myself. I'm like, I wonder if I can make a loop filter with his quirks. It's all right. It's not the best one, but it's it's just having fun with it. So I'll try to.
Chris Wilson, the dude's awesome.
Yeah, I'll try to commit to at least making one new loop filter per league. I know my wife was giving me ideas. She's like, "What do I mean make a loop filter about this?" I'm like, maybe. I don't know. That's kind of weird.
I think I know what loop filter I want to make, and it's for Baki.
Oh, Baki Hanma.
Yeah, I want to make a Baki loop filter. That shit is hilarious and has a lot of clippable moments.
Then that shouldn't be hard because there's a lot of audio on YouTube about it.
Oh yeah,
but yeah.
Especially
so
like new, old, like yeah, Baki's huge.
So check them out. In order to get custom sounds, you need to look up Filter Blade, look up how to do it. You have to choose custom sounds and then it gives you the whole tutorial on how to do it, how to get your own sounds. These are ready to go. So when you download it, it'll take you to it'll take you to here. All you have to do is just get these, copy and paste into your My Games folder, and then they're good to go. You don't have to worry about anything. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, luckily loop filters are relatively easy.
I don't think I can play it. I can't preview it.
You know what I want to talk about next time? Random. I don't know if we should. Maybe I should put this like in the channel later. But I want to talk about hideouts and fucking
hideouts. That's a good fucking topic. I'm not gonna lie. I've been getting a little into it, just a little bit. I've always been anti hideout.
I noticed, and it's like I did notice that you changed, and I was like, I'm so fucking happy. He's not in just some like nasty ass hideout anymore.
Ironically, one of the guys that I traded last, he whispered me. He was like, "Bro, why the fuck does this hideout took so long to goddamn load? It took him like 5 minutes to load."
Oof, yeah.
Your hideout, your timekeeper.
Oh, mine. Yeah, Timekeeper I think is actually like fucked up. My load times for my own hideout are fucking long as fuck sometimes.
We didn't really touch on this, but I guess we can just wrap up with this. Tota League.
So
we avoided that whole fucking topic like the plague.
Because it's simply speaking, right? So with my last build that we were doing, it's not even like I got to live all that long, right? I was able to live maybe 30 seconds at a time, and then I'm staring at my dead ass character on the floor while you come do other shit.
We just had a tactic. We had a tactic that worked.
That we had to exploit. Like, there's no.
It's not exploiting as intended.
There's no way that's how they wanted you to fucking interact with that game, dude. Come on. Like,
I mean, they allow it,
They allow it, but I think like something in that game mode went wrong.
So
I don't know.
To describe the tactic, his self-cast Soul Ren basically shot almost across the entire map. Oh, at least half the map.
Yeah,
projectiles, right? And these projectiles do degen. Now, this would work with any character that shoots projectiles. I'm assuming a ranger, split or whatever.
Tornado shot is the new thing right now.
Yeah, that's always been a thing. First of all,
no. Just for this particular thing, like they literally just go tornado shot and sit in one area to try to interrupt people, which is why that GGG instituted that change where you have to be more near them.
Okay, so
like tornado. The reason they did that shit. Our tactic wasn't even fucking like mentioned. Yeah. They
sad.
they really were not worried about us casting. They were worried about these fucking bow builds that are fucking, throwing out fucking 3,000 little
Projectiles, yeah, because projectiles basically stuns or prevents,
interrupts.
interrupts them from. So basically, you can become a just a defense if you have one of those on your team. If it's two of you guys, and you do that, even if you're by yourself, if you have a kind of build that could just defend all your totems, eventually you'll win. Because
it takes you a long time.
It takes a long time, yeah, because your flankers may not be good enough to be able to destroy or kill, especially if they have a Titanic shell turtle. If they have that, you're pretty much fucked. You might be losing that one.
Dude, at a rank like 150, I had like a 25-minute battle that I ended up having to do.
And before the update, right, that they up the rewards, you may be getting what, like 2 scours?
Shit, dude.
After 25 minutes, which is insane for a 25-minute. When it comes to path, as far as time, remember, time is gold with path. So if you're spending 30 minutes on a fucking match and you're only getting 2 scours, bro, get the fuck out of that content.
Yeah, it wasn't working for me. I don't like it, and especially even more now.
Well, yeah, now. So we got up to 550 at rank, and even at 550, it was fucking bad. It got worse and worse and worse. Like, motherfuckers was just one tappers. The regular creatures, not even heroes. The regular creatures would look at us and just one tap us.
I'll tell you this. Since you were a little sad that I stopped, right?
I did. I was.
So this is what I'll tell you. Give me 1 divine. Tomorrow I will turn the chieftain into something that can shoot from across the screen, and we'll try it again.
Well, but I was actually just curious of how we can get.
I get you, but that's the thing. Like with the divine, I can make a very quick, efficient bow. I can make a very easy fucking tree to give me attack speed, and I can
love
just
how
make
this turns into me just paying for some shit.
Because I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I'm not setting back the unnatural instinct for that.
No. Why would I make you do that? No.
Right. No, but that's my whole thing. Like I can't. Like the moment I can afford that bitch,
we can come up with a budget build that just shoots projectiles.
Yeah, dude. Think about it. I already thought about it. All I need is a tabula and a bow and some leveled gems.
I'm pretty sure I have a tabula.
I'm not even going to put anything on it because it doesn't matter.
I'm pretty sure I have a tabula.
Yeah, that's fine.
Somewhere. I'm pretty sure I do because I remember seeing
then I'll craft myself like a pretty decent like attack speed base bow. Shit, I could just use a fucking quill rain if I'm just being a bitch.
Yeah, you just need projectiles. It doesn't need to hit hard.
Yeah, like
that's the beauty of it is like you don't need actually DPS. You just need projectiles that hit.
Yeah. So
and preferably you need either piercing, right? Because if it goes through, it's better. Because they got some big body. They got like tanks. They're all tanks. And their team, especially at rank 500. Piercing helps. Fork helps. Anything that basically connects your initial shot or projector to something else helps. Shit, even an arc.
No.
Too close? You need to be too close?
I'll need too much cast speed.
Okay. But yeah, I think bow build. I think definitely a bow build would probably be.
Yeah, with a bow build, dude, I can just literally slot in a whole bunch of rares and just have some attack speed on them, and I'll just end up attacking 1,000,000 times per second.
Yeah, I think that would work. Shit, I would just.
Because what I'm gonna do
I would probably pay you to go turn to jug.
I can afford to do the jug swap. I can buy
that would give you just more health and more defenses.
Shit, dude.
And be a bow jug.
They're gonna one shot me.
No, they will. They will jug you, but
that's
you're more likely survive the non-heroes.
Honestly, dude, I'm literally not even worried about it. There's nothing I'm gonna do that's gonna make me survive long enough. That's be like, oh yeah, I want to invest extra time into making that work. I don't
So
care.
yeah, the tactic basically turns into you have one person just throwing projectiles, interrupting everything, and then the other person just goes and starts systematically destroying all the totems.
You
Like
have a
you just
defender and a flanker.
yeah, if you follow that rubric, you can fucking blaze through all the fucking matches and not worry about shit. If you're on your own now, if you can throw projectiles from either the middle or on their side to the other side, you're probably going to be fine. You're probably going to be fine as far as that. Like ballistas, totems work well as a single player because all you have to do is place them and kind of walk away a little bit, and they just keep shooting. Pew 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 pew. I know they stop working after a certain distance, but it just gives you that little extra time to go destroy a totem and come back. But yeah, 550. They up the fucking loot, but it still feels so bad. The content feels so bad. It doesn't feel rewarding at all. Even the shit that we did get, that some of some of the rare shit is worth a lot of money.
Yeah,
but the content feels so bad.
You know, it's one of those things where, like, think about it this way, right? I'll actually put it really, really simple. If me and you were playing in the same exact situation and we were playing Expedition and we got a logbook and we'll say 19 divines worth of fucking coins drop in one fucking logbook, do you think that we would have stopped in the next 7, 8, 9, 12 logbooks? We would have put a lot of effort into that, huh?
Yeah,
I would have.
because the content itself is
it's fun. It's doable.
It's not bad. It has enough changes. It's quick enough. Even the logbook itself, because it takes a little bit to set up and then do it. But once you set it up, do it. It's pretty quick.
Pretty quick. You get it done. Get your good farming.
It's challenging because you can fucking kill yourself.
Yes, you get greedy.
And other than that, you don't feel like you're getting a bad deal out of like the situation.
Yeah. But notice I have not done a single another Tota tournament. Not
yeah,
one.
you can. Like it just feels it feels terrible.
It feels fucking terrible. I don't want to do it. The promise of good rewards doesn't change my mind. It doesn't make me want to do it. I'm more willing to do Delve than I am Tota right now. And I generally
it's just the way I don't know how they decided this. I don't know what thought they put into this. I don't know what. I'm interested to know what they would say. Everything's just so fucking beefy. Like what the fuck? Like why are they so goddamn strong? I get it. You don't want people like plowing through content, the fucking bosses.
The problem is the people who were able to plow through content are still able to plow through content because 400 million DPS is still 400 million DPS. You're not punishing the people who are on the high end that are able to blaze through content in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You're punishing us who are trying to break into the higher DPSs. Dude, I remember the first time I looked at my POB ever and saw 2 million DPS, I nearly shat myself. I was proud. Yeah, like, no. Well, yeah. But, like, it was so crazy that I was like, oh my god, dude, I'm doing so much damage. And you feel it. You're cruising through your maps and stuff. And then I remember going up to, dude, this character has 2.4 million DPS when I'm fully stacked up and all that good shit. At rank 150, it still takes me 25 seconds to kill a Titanic Tota or Titanic Turtle.
It takes me. I do it even more like single person damage, and it takes me a fuck ton of time.
Like it's not fun. Like and everything one shots you. So do I have time to be sitting there attacking for fucking 25 seconds? No.
Yeah, and it can make the match. It can make the match 25, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And then the reward is even now, the most I've seen is 7, 8 chaos.
Well, that's just with money. You can't discount the fact that we did get a 19 div card.
Yeah, but that's rare.
That is rare, but it is a part of the jackpot. And then I've seen other people getting good shit. I understand that the rewards are there. The rewards are there. I'm cool with
As a
the reward.
person who I have to represent the people who can play maybe 3 or 4 hours. For you to play 3 or 4 hours and you can only play, you have a choice between X amount of maps versus 3 or 4 tournaments. It's just not worth it.
I don't know, man. Well, being that we were in a place where we couldn't, neither of us could do the content alone. You did have to split that 19 div. I don't know if you'd gotten that on your own while you were climbing, would you feel the same way?
I wouldn't have gotten that far though. At around 300, I was seeing the limit of my build.
Mm.
Like I couldn't, because my character's melee, I couldn't get fast enough to the flankers when they're on the outskirts, destroying my flankers and getting. If I stay in the middle, I can only get the middle 4 or 5.
Yeah,
as far as my
your
range
build was fast as fuck.
Right. So this goes to my original argument that depending on your build, you will see that some tactics work for you. But I needed someone to really have a lot of projectiles I can just interrupt, where I can just go in there and just start. It takes me 3 hops and I'm already in their back line.
Yeah.
And I could do that in a split second. I come back in a split second if you need some help. So I needed someone to do that. And once you started doing it, shit just got so fucking easy. Like, so fucking easy. I was just sitting there like, bro. And we would knocking down tournament after tournament after tournament.
Yeah.
It would take us maybe fucking 5 minutes per tournament. Like,
Per
it took
round.
me longer. It took me longer to choose the fucking guys, insert them into the slots, sell and buy shit, than the actual match itself. So most of the time went into like fucking buying the guys, trading and equipping them and all that bullshit. The match itself didn't take long, and up to that point where we got to 550, where shit started getting squirrely. Like, it wasn't. I was doing it out of I wanted to do it out of greed, because we already got, like, at that point we already got like 4 divs out of it.
Yeah, we were getting some money out of it.
So it was like, to me, it was like, fuck, is my only source of reliable divs that I got. Like, damn, I can. I just need one. I just need one more. Just give me one div. That's what I want. That's kind of where I really wasn't having fun with the content. I just felt like I was abusing it just for the sake of getting some cash.
As a matter of fact, we got paid out.
I'm not a gambler. I'm never been historically like to gamble. So once we got that payout, I was like, you know what? I'm good here. I'm gonna go focus on other content and actually trying to see if I can down some of these Ubers and stuff like that with the melee build as originally intended. So
yeah,
because I did talk a lot of shit about, melees and all that shit. So I want to see if I push myself.
You seem to have been doing pretty well though.
I'm doing decent. It hasn't been totally easy, but
no, it's not easy with strange characters either.
But I think it's safe to say that at week 2, I'm probably at the best position I've ever been. Both cash. Ironically, with some of my minion builds, I've already downed Shaper and a few other bosses. But even in those builds, I've never been in a well economic position.
Right.
Like, earning as much as I've earned.
And you've got, like, giving out loans this league.
I have. I felt good about that. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, you need 3 devs? No problem. Here you go. I think it was like 1 or 2, but Um, it does feel rewarding in that sense of like knowing like, all right, how much you need? All right, boom, here, build it, boom, boom, boom,
Make it happen, pay me back.
and the only reason I will do that is because I know you're gonna play.
Oh yeah, 100.
So it's like it's not that big a deal. But you start giving loans to people and like they don't pay you. It's not that they don't pay you back. It's just they stop playing after a week after that, and it's just like, well, that's an asshole move. Like you got at least fucking play. So
It's like I just gave you like a third of my wad, bro.
So yeah, I mean, I know eventually like we'll start slowing down and not playing as much, only because once that first to second month,
Yeah.
that fatigue starts to set in, and we'll start slowing down.
I'm already so. This is something
Should we end the episode?
I want to talk about this before we do end,
okay.
because it still is about the league mechanic.
Oh.
I think that this league mechanic has burned my patience more than any other league I've ever been a part of. I have never hit a point where I wanted to not quit, but like really pull back and play other shit to the point where I'm feeling guilty. Like, other than right now. Usually at 2 weeks, I'm still really into, all right, how am I going to continue my build? Like, things of that nature. But now, like, right now, this league mechanic has frustrated me so fucking much, especially with how much we put in. Like, because we went pretty hard on it for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
That burned so much of my mental capacity to play this game. And now that I'm going back into, like, now that I'm going back into mapping, dude, every death that happens, I'm like,
it reminds you of like the one.
Like, and it's just like, dude, this league mechanic really makes me just not want to play. Like, straight up. That's why I'm like, you know what? I'll make this little easy character, because this will be something where I'm like, I won't mind if it dies. I'm not trying to push content on it. It's not going to be something I'm investing a whole lot in. We have a whole bunch of gear in both of our tabs. You know, we'll be able to. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to gear this out pretty free.
Yeah,
we just need regrets, and like that'll be it. We're good. We'll figure this shit out. But it's just like the whole fact of just like, dude, we really have to make a fucking cheese build to make this work.
Mm-hmm. Like, and that's the unfortunate. If that's the only way it works, then the verdict on it is that is by far one of the worst implementations of a league mechanic. The idea is pretty decent. The structure of it is pretty decent, but the implementation is dog shit. Like the way their teams interact with your teams, the fact that your NPCs are fucking trash and their level 1 NPCs are fucking gods.
Not even that, dude. I would like their AI and my AI to work generally the same. Second of all, if I have defenders, why are they always one shot? Why am I not allowed to have fucking defenders on my field? They have defenders on their field that don't fucking die. Like, it's...
Yeah, it should be equal. Like, the HP, the damage scaling should be equal for both.
I understand if I die instantly.
Because
why does the team die?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, their hero is supposed to be you. You're our team's hero. So if he's one-shotting me, I can understand he's the hero of that team. But when they're fucking regular NPCs, just...
When I get one-shot by a boar, I'm over it.
Like it's just... And then, God forbid, they have a few of the like tier 2s and 3s. Bro, your fucking shit get demolished quick.
Yeah, and with my build, dude, fucking Ravagers, dog. I can't, because I can't see. You know me. I play builds that make fucking a lot of pollution.
Projectiles.
And
pollution.
I can't see shit. The floor is, I assume, all lava. and that's just how it reacts. Like I'll start spinning, and then the Ravager will have just these things that are just around, and I'm just like I'll spin on top of it because spin to win, or cast, and then I get hit with one projectile, and it's just like, oh yeah, nah, that 82% fire resist you fucking have, nah, bye. Overcap? What is the point of maximum resists? I'm getting one shot by chaos auto attacks from their death whatevers, and I had 79% chaos res.
The last thing I'll say is that they haven't fucking updated. Like they put a lot of hotfixes here and there, but they really haven't addressed the fucking absurdity of it. Yeah, they really haven't really, and it tells me something. It tells me that basically,
no, they nerfed us.
Did they?
Yeah, we can no longer interrupt from across the map. You have to be kind of close.
Yeah, you gotta be.
It's like no,
close to death.
Yeah, no, their teams aren't strong enough. The fact that we can't kill them isn't enough. The fact that they're smarter than our AI isn't enough. Like, what do you want? Like, and then they up the rewards, right? And it's like, dude, there's supposed to be like a risk reward, right? You tell me that we're gonna have to deal with all these things, one-shotting us, one-shotting our team, being smarter than our team, all that gravy. I want every single reward in that fucking list to be fucking 4 divine and above. That's the kind of level of cheese and difficulty that you bring to the table. But because I figured out a way to cheese and just do well enough to survive in this stupid fucking game mode, you patch it out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So
I personally don't know how the single players are managing to get to rank 1,000. Like I've seen a few of them. They claim that they're up there. I don't fucking know how you did it. I fucking don't know. Like,
dude, you know what I see a lot of right now? No, not throwing any names, no content creators. I've seen someone be like, this is a rank 2,000 plus fucking viable build. And when you go and you look and see what rank he is, he's like 1,500. And you're like, yes. So it's 2.2k viable. How? I hate how hyperbolic.
That's clickbait. Yeah, clickbait.
Yeah,
shit. Yeah.
Then it's just like they give these bare basic ass tips, right? Where it's just like, so the thing is most people are just like, yeah, you have to get used to the one shots, and then all you really do is just you have the fence guys, and then you go at their totems. Yeah, dude. That what a great strategy.
But it's not. You're just bypassing the content. You're not really engaging the content if you're just trying to find a loophole around the motherfucker.
Yeah.
The problem is what you're saying. The problem is that one, their fucking AI is way smarter than ours. Their NPCs are way stronger than ours. So in the only way to survive and keep progressing is to fucking find a loophole to basically outbeat them. And it's just like. But the point is kind of like a MOBA of like you select pieces in a select spot where they're engaged with their enemies and kind of like that tug of war of, and you as the hero are the X factor in this tug of war.
Their X factor is better. Not to mention, dude, I've had a Jade Hulk be on my side of the field. I run over to their side of the field to start doing some killing, not killing, but totem killing. And the Jade Hulk, like, instantly beelines to me. It completely ignores my side of the field all of a sudden. Walks over to halfway and then leap slams me from halfway across the map. And it's
you don't see him. Yeah, you don't see him.
And it's just like, what? And of course, it's a one shot. If a boar can one-shot me, what am I going to do against a Jade Hulk?
Yeah.
That dude just put me in the fucking dirt. Like, not fun, dude. I hate. Yeah. I'm done talking shit about this game, or I'm done talking shit about the mechanic. Because I love the game.
You heard it here. You heard it here, bro. Like, unless you are abusing and using it some kind of loophole to progress, the toad is not worth fucking doing.
Like, I would love if because I can't do this right, because I can't make such a huge impact into the game, make it to where I can not do anything and set up my team properly and win.
It should have just if they wanted to go the MOBA route and be like, can we do MOBA in Path? If they wanted to go that route, they had to make it equal. Where like if you play any other MOBA game out there, if the individual players don't do shit, guess what? Everything just literally balances itself out. Their enemies and our enemies usually balance itself out right in the middle. No one progresses. And if you keep it that way, then it's equal.
This would have been fine.
If their fucking NPCs get stronger, our NPCs get stronger. If we destroy one of their totems, our NPCs get a little stronger, kind of like most MOBA games. Then boom, then you create this effect of a MOBA. But this is what it is, the fucking MOBA. But the strength scale is only on one side.
You know, I think it would be fine. I honestly think that this would be fine with one very, very simple change. Make it to where their team captain is their X factor. It's really that simple. Yeah. I can play around one thing. Especially in a situation like that. I can help my team, or you know what I mean? You could choose one thing while their captain, their X factor, is also doing one thing. It allows a strategy.
Right. That's the point.
Like, it's not hard.
Because I gave up on building strong teams. Yep. Like trying to get a fucking Ravager, they get mauled over, bro. They don't do shit.
Especially at your rank, yeah.
Yeah, I get a fucking Hulk. Okay, what the fuck is he gonna do? I'd rather just get
because
the one item that I fucking go for all the time is the revive timer is 50% less. That's the item right there is fucking GG. If you get that fucking equipment, you put it on your flankers, you put it on your defenders. That's your best saving grace, because your little shitty minions being down is you basically losing.
You know what my favorite is? Gain 100% extra life on one of the things, and they still get one shot.
Yeah. Like,
wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like the percentages of life that they get versus that we get. I get the feeling that it doesn't change for us. The percentage of a life and damage that our NPCs stay the same throughout the entire rankings.
My thing is kind of I would like to see some of these numbers. You know, when you're in a map, right? You can see, generally speaking, like some modifiers. Why can't we see the modifiers for these things?
For the rank, yeah. Like, enemies have 3,000 more % health.
Dude, honestly, dog, I think it would be something like 36,000 at this point, dog. Those things just don't die.
And all right, we're kind of beating the dead horse.
We're rambling.
Yeah, it's like it's frustrating. Sorry, you could tell it's fucking frustrating. This is what we saved it for last because we didn't want to fucking talk about it.
We want to engage with it too because it's new. It's not that the reason we're mad about it is because it soils itself in being frustrating instead of being something that we enjoy playing, because it's an interesting concept and we want to play it. But they've put so many barriers to having fun here, and I don't know why. It doesn't seem... The rewards would have been fine if the game stayed balanced in some way, to where we didn't feel like we had to cheese things, but they made no changes, but they upped the loot. So it's in like a weird position to where every time that we do a map and we're not doing that, we kind of feel a little guilty that we could probably be making more money per time and get the bigger possibility of drops. Like, but it's just not fun. We don't want to, yet we do. Like, so sad.
For me, ultimately, the game is a game. You here to have fun, and if I'm playing a content that's not fun, yeah, I may be earning some cash, but it's ultimately not fun for me. It kind of fucking defeats the purpose. The purpose. So it's one of those things where it's like I can go back and play, Baldur's Gate for a little bit and do some crazy shit over there.
As a matter of fact, playing Armored Core 6. Not literally at this moment, but that's the thing.
You know what I mean? Time is precious. So that's one of those things that we have to keep in mind. Any last words?
Just the fact that people that have joined us, thank you so very much once again. Here's a very humble request to hit buttons, buttons, buttons. A second reminder for buttons, buttons, buttons.
Helps us a
And
lot.
anything for you, Cass?
Nah, man, just buttons, 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 man. That just fucking helps out. Subscribe helps us a lot out. Gets us to know like who is listening.
We have to do a quick follow-up. Did we get any responses to our question?
No.
Okay. You guys are slacking. Give us responses.
Maybe actually just let me refresh. Let me refresh. No, talking shit. No.
Okay.
And it's officially closed. So I left it on for a week.
Okay, fair enough. You guys didn't answer. You guys are slacking. We ask you no more questions from this point on. No, I'm kidding. We're gonna
but yeah, subscribe. Hit those buttons. You'll get notification. If you want to catch this recording live, I guess you can check us out on YouTube if you fancy that. I don't know if you do, but if not, it's usually on either the night that we record or the day after. On a Saturday. We usually record on a Friday or on a Wednesday night. So on a Thursday or Saturday, it usually be up.
About YouTube, it has buttons.
Yeah, that has buttons over there too.
If you like buttons and you don't think that these buttons are enough to hit, and you're like, dude, I need like buttons. 5 more buttons. Dude, you know what? Go on over there, hit some buttons over there, and pretty soon, maybe we'll have more places for you to hit buttons at. I'm sorry.
If you look, man, like
I'm done being a shill.
We're selling our soul right now. Like, come on, me. No, but this is real. Like, if you enjoy the content and you want to help us out, gotta hit those buttons. Gotta hit those buttons because it helps us immensely. One, it keeps us fucking motivated. Like, knowing the motherfuckers is listening to this shit, we sit there like, I just hit up Coffee. I'm like, yo, Coffee, we gotta do the episode. Fuck yeah, let's do the episode. Yep. It's like, because we know that you guys are listening, and it fucking just amps us up. Like, we got crazy motherfuckers just listening to us. Why they listening to us? I don't know. Who gives a fuck? But
give me power. You give me the power to go.
Yeah, it truly does. It truly does. So we thank all of those who have subscribed, and even those that hasn't subscribed. If you haven't, so we still love you guys for listening. And tune in to this episode and the future episodes.
Yep.
Anything else?
Night, everybody. No, just good night.
All right. Have a good one. Should play the outro, right?
Yeah.
All right. See you later.